Rahim. Myself Kashif Hassan and I'll be giving the presentation on the book The Art of Creative Thinking. Let's move toward the introduction of the book. Here is the introduction. The importance of creative thinking today needs no emphasis. In your profession or sphere of work, you will have a competitive advantage if you develop your ability to come up with new ideas. In your personal life, to creative thinking can lead you into a new paths of creative activity. It can enrich your life, though not always in the way you expect. I hope that you find this book stimulating and enjoyable as well as instructive. May it take you forward on your journey as a creative thinker. Let's move toward the first chapter of this book, that is on human creativity. To create is always to do something new, according to Martin Luther. With creativity, we start with what already exists. We recognize creativity where the artist or thinker of genius has transferred the materials at hand into a new creator's or enduring value. His most original will adopt from the most source, as the saying goes. You will be creative when you start seeing or making connection between ideas that appear to others to be far apart. The wider the apparent distance, the greater the degree of creative thinking involved. Creativity is the faculty of mind and spirit that enable us to bring into existence, ostensibly out of nothing, something of use or order, beauty, or significance. So here is a key point of first chapter of the book. Let's move toward the next chapter of the book, that is using the stepping stones of analogy. Thinking by analogy or analyzing play a key part in imaginative thinking. This is especially so when it's come to creative thinking. Nature suggests models and principles for the solutions of problems. There are other models or analogies to be found in existing products and the organization. Why reinvent the principle of the wheel when it has already been discovered? Some simple research may save you the bother of thinking it out for yourself. Everything has been thought of before, but the problem is to think of it again. This is all about the second chapter of the book. Here's the third chapter of the book, that is, make the strange familiar and the familiar strange. This is a phrase. Okay, the process of understanding anything or anyone unfamiliar, foreign, unnatural, and what is not already known, heard, or seen is best begin by relating it by analogy to what we know already, but it should not end there. The reverse process of making the familiar strange is equally important for creative thinking. We do not think about what we know. Here, artists can help us to become aware of the new within the old. No man really knows about other human being, wrote John Steinbeck. The best he can do is to suppose that they are like himself. This is a saying of John Steinbeck. Last night I thought over 1,000 plans, but the morning I went my old way, says the Chinese proverb, settled habits of thought, our addiction to that familiar, with smothering dreams and ideas of the night. This morning you made a cup of tea or coffee and had your breakfast. The same as yesterday, but was it? You will never ever brush your teeth in precisely the same way as yesterday. Every minute is unique. So the essence of creative act is to see the familiar as strange. This is all about the third chapter of the book. Let's move toward the next slide. Here is some key point that would help us to understand the topic. Number one, the transfer of technology from one field to another, usually with some degree of alternation and adaptation, is one way in which we can make a creative contribution. You may be familiar with the body of knowledge or technical capability unknown to others in your field because you have worked in more than one industry, or it may come about as a result of your travel to other countries. People with a narrow span of relevance are thinking within the trim lines and boundaries of their own industry. So leave over the wall, develop a wide span of relevance. So we should widen our span of relevance. For there are connection between every other industry in the world and yours. It only you should see them. It comes down to your power to connect the seemingly unconnected, or at least the thing that hitherto have not, being brought together in a new and interesting relation. This is all about the fourth chapter of the book. Let's move toward the fifth chapter. Chance favor only the prepared mind. So everyone must have a prepared mind for creative thinking. Here is some key point. Things that happen unpredictably without discreating human intention or observable cause can be sticked into the process of creative thinking. Such accidents need to happen to those who deserve them. Do not wait for them, but learn to watch out for them. To see and recognize a clue in such unexpected events depends sensitivity and observation. To interrupt the clue and recognize its possible significance requires knowledge. Without uh, pre-connections, imaginative thinking, the habits of reflections on unexplained observations, and some original flares. Again, the importance of having an open mind and a degree of curiosity stands out clearly. You have to constantly ask yourself questions about what is happening around you. So by this way, you can think creatively and be ready for surprising answer. So everyone must have a prepared mind for creative thinking. Here is all about the fifth chapter. Let's move toward the next slide. So curiosity is one of the permanent and certain characteristic of various intellectuals. Curiosity in children is but an appetite for knowledge, wrote the philosopher John Locke. You should aim to retain throughout your life that eager desire to see, learn, or know curiosity in the mind of tiptoe. Creative thinkings tend to have a habit of curiosity that lead them to give searching attention to what interests them. Thinking is a way of trying to find out for yourself. If you always blindly accepted what other told you, there would be nothing to be curious about. So one way to develop your curiosity is to begin to ask more questions, both when you are talking with others and when you are talking in your mind to yourself. Questioning carefully done help you to distinguish between what is known and what is unknown. So curiosity, being curious is good for creative thinking. So keep your eyes open is an idiom that's mean to remain vigilant and careful. Here is some key point to understand the topic. The ability to give careful, analytical, and honest attention to what you see is essential. If you do not notice, then you will not observe and think properly. Observation implies attempting to see a person, object, or scene as if you had never seen it before in your life. What really teaches us, it has been said, is not experience but observation. So observation teaches you. The act of the observation is not complete until you have recorded what you have seen, thereby helping to commit it to memory. Observation capitalizes in some inspiration. A bystander may sometimes perhaps see more of the game than he who plays it. Watch less, observe more. So we should watch less and observe more. Interested and close attention is the mother of perceptions. Sir Isaac Newton once told a friend, if I ever made any valuable discoveries, it has been owing more to patient attention than to any other talent. So we should keep our eyes open to discover new ways to help others that are in need. A childlike curiosity and an open mind backed up by sharp analytical skills and sensitive judgment are the essential require are the essential for being are the essential thing for being a good listener. Your priority must always be to achieve a grasp of the nature and significance of what is being said to you. Ask questions to elicit the full meaning. Understanding comes before revelations. Listen for ideas, however incomplete, as well as for potentially relevant facts and information. My greatest strength as a consultant, Peter Drucker once told, is to be ignorant and ask a few questions. Never miss a chance to shut up. The word listen contains the same letter as the word of the silence. It is the province of knowledge to speak, and it is the province of wisdom to listen. This is the saying of Oliver Wendell. Reading to generate idea. So reading is the best way for creative thinking. By reading, we can think creatively. The use of reading is to aid us in thinking. Nothing is worth reading that does not require an alert mind, open and eager to learn. Books are storehouse of ideas, thoughts, facts, opinion, descriptions, information, and dreams. Some of these removed from their setting may connect to your present interest as a thinker. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Wrote Sir Richard Steele, poetry and good prose, fact or fiction, requires the use of your imaginative and recreative power. Therefore, they provide you as an enjoyable way of developing those faculties. The real object of education is to take you to the condition of continuously asking questions. Under the hospitable roof of reading, studying, and learning, you will also find house inspiring, kindling, and infecting. Reading furnishes the mind only what materials of knowledge is. It is thinking that makes what we read ours, wrote John Lake. So we should read some books to generate creative idea. For writing the creative ideas. Keeping a notebook is more than a useful habit. It is a vitally important tool for all creative thinking purpose. A man would do well to carry a pencil in his pocket, said Fernand Bacon, and wrote and write down the thoughts of the moment, those that come unsought and commonly the most valuable and should be scared because they seldom return. Okay, writing down a quotation or passage, fact or piece of information is a means of meditating upon it and appreciating it personally so that it grows into part of you. Imagine that your notebook is like a kaleidoscope. At a time when you are feeling in a creative frame of mind, give it a methodology shake. You can play with new combinations and interconnection. They may suggest new ideas or lines of thoughts. Don't forget to add inspirational quotations, store an example to your own personal book. If you build a positive orientation of mind, you will become increasingly more creative in your thinking. So by keeping notebook, you can easily write the ideas that you have generates on your mind. Let's move toward the next chapter of the book. Test your assumptions. Here is some key point that would help us to understand the topic. The ability to explore possible way forward by making some deliberate assumptions is important. They are to be made without commitment, like trying on new clothes in a shop before buying them. Okay. Develop your awareness of the judge of tingle misconceptions, preconceptions, and unconscious assumptions within you. Welcome others when they challenge or test your assumptions. Opinions are often more precious than truth. They change according to such factor as the group, organization, or society, time and place where you happen to be. Today, common sense is very different from common sense. 5 years ago, what will common sense be like? What kind of opinion will there be in 50 years' time? Think outside the box. Don't allow yourself to be constrained by the mental limitations or stick jackets that are sometimes imposed on situation without any written or truth. Test your assumption. Here's all about the chapter. According to an old English proverb, there is a great deal of unmapped country within us. In part, creative thinking is about exploring and fathoming an unknown hinterland. The function of the conscious mind analyzing, synthesizing, and valuing can also take place at a deeper level. Your depth mind can dissect something for you. So this is a function of depth mind. Just as your stomach juice can break down food into elements. The depth mind, for example, is capable of analyzing data that you may not have that may you not have known you had taken in and comparing it with what it feel filed away in your memory bank. The depth mind is capable of more than analyzing. It is also close to the seat of your memory and the repository of your values. It is also a workshop where creative synthesis can be made by an invisible workmanship. Here's all about the topic. The depth mind is errandivist. It is as if it is sometimes a meeting place between human thoughts and diving inspiration, issuing and generally creating ideas and the new creations. That, of course, is only an assumption, or if you perfect it an unproved hypothesis, whatever true or not, it may be of useful and productive strategy to act as it if it were true. Creative thinkers of all kinds, including scientists, tend to retain spiritual models of inspiration. It only in them awareness of an unfathomable and unnaturalizable mystery in how true creations or discovery occurs. Do not wait for inspiration or you will wait for forever. Inspiration is a companion that will appear beside you on certain sketches of the road. One sit down first, said Jeans Cooker. One thinks afterwards. So we should not wait for inspiration, but we have to create for others. Let's move toward the next chapter, that is sharpen your analytical skills. There is no expedient to which a man will not resort to avoid the real labor of thinking. Said Sir Jos, are you willing to devote sometimes an effort to the problems that face you? See them not as problems but opportunities to practice your skill as a thinker. The skill of analyzing, thinking, taking things to bits in order to discern underlying principles or ideas is a key implement in the tool chest of a creative thinking. There is no standard process or system of creative thinking. There is no system that you can learn. For creative thinking is essentially about freedom. To think freely means to be free from process, system, and drills. The best creative minds are those that have been subjected to various disciplines when young, and then have reverted back to their natural proclivities when analyzing. Do not be overhasting in defining the problems. Play with the alternative formulations until one emerged commands you sport. Here is all about the topic. Let's move toward the next chapter, that is working it out. Working it out, actually trying to make or produce something, is a way of continuing the process of creative thinking. Therefore, it is not necessary to have a fully formed picture or crystal clear ideas of where you are going before you start work. Because so little is given to you by way of initial inspiration, you may follow false trails, get lost, and feel frustrated, even to the point of despairing. But if you haven't worked on the edge of failure, you haven't worked on the edge of real success. As implementation is part of creative thinking, you have to develop the product yourself, at least up to a certain point. Beyond that point, it obviously has to be much more of the team effort, especially if you wish to take the idea into the marketplace. Here it's all about the topic working it out. Let's move. Let's move toward the last chapter of this book. Think creatively about your life. Creativeness and a creative attitude to life as a whole is not man's rights, it is his duty. So, being creative is a duty of the man. Even if you even if your work in the narrow sense doesn't call for imagination, the art of creative thinking is still relevant to you. For our lives are unfinished creation, shaping and transforming the raw material of your life and circumstances is endlessly interesting and often challenging. Almost everything comes from almost nothing. It is not what happens to you in life that matters, but how you respond. The creative response is to reform bad things into good and problems into opportunity. So, by being creative, we can convert bad things into good and problems into opportunity. Remember the rep props. You should never finish building for your house. It is a beginning and the unfinished work to be done that execute your creative mind. Endings belong to gods. Fortunately for us, they are not our business here on earth. Life is what happens when you are busy making other plans. The freedom you give yourself to make mistake is the best environment for creatively. So I hope you find this book instructive and productive, and I hope you learn many good things from this book. I am done with the presentation. Allah Hafiz from my side.